So it was 4 days in the making, a lot of miles hiked. And this was the view that we ended up with.
Fog.
A lot of fun.
The beautiful fog.
Debatable.
Hey guys!
What's up?
It's Jess.
And Aaron. And welcome back to our channel. This is a recap of our trip to Peru.
Met up with our good family friends, great family friends, Curtis and Terry in LAX airport.
Yep.
And then Terry's
Brother.
and niece and parents met with us. Aaron broke his phone as we were standing in line for our plane. Still works, but quite an unfortunate start.
Yep. And when we got there, we loaded up on some coffee.
Because that's always where you have to start. Coffee, obviously.
And then we went to some of the places around there in Cusco that are kind of must-sees. It was Sacsay Woman, and then, what was the other one?
It's like the Peruvian Cristo Blanco.
Yep. And we saw,
Our first llamas at Botacas.
and they
I
weren't.
loved them more than they loved me.
Yeah.
So the next day, we got up early and went to Rainbow Mountain to hike. So we started off with the coolest bathroom setup we have ever seen. Most beautiful view. I
One of
faked
the
needing
most.
to go to the bathroom so that I could enjoy the view. And then we headed up the mountain.
The what?
The mountain?
Meal.
The mountain. We headed up the mountain.
And it was a lot more grueling than I think we thought, because it looked like it was just a straight line, but in reality it was a straight up line. And what
A
was
lot of elevation gain, so
well,
we didn't really get sick. Somebody in our group got sick, but it was just awesome. It's like 16,000 something feet. So you get to the mountain basically next to Rainbow Mountain, so you get to look at the view, which is unbelievable. Definitely should go if you haven't already been there.
And then we went, Jess and I, on a little bit different of a path down, which included going up a lot more and a lot further,
Red Mountain, which overlooked everything.
overlooking the Red Valley.
Yeah, so we got to see, you look over the Red Valley, you can see Rainbow Mountain, then you can see the glaciers on the other side.
Super cool.
Well worth it.
Yeah. So then we got down and had just an awesome meal. And we'll tell you a little bit more about the company we went with, because they're also the company that we took that Inca Trail. So yeah, then the next day we spent in Cusco, just hanging out, doing a bunch of different
Taking pictures with
touristy
baby
things.
llamas.
We went shopping in one of their markets, and there was actually a festival going on that weekend. So we got to see a lot of cultural dances and just a lot of cool events happening around.
And more coffee.
Always more coffee. And then I don't know, did we do anything else that night? I think we probably went to bed early. So then the next morning we woke up early, packed all of our stuff, and
We gave it to Alpaca Expedition, so they picked us up from our hotel, and then we headed to Ollantaytambo, I think. And they made breakfast for us there, and then kind of just prepped us for what the trek was going to be like, and then we headed off.
ran essentially the last probably quarter of a mile from when it started raining to where we were supposed to have lunch, and we got introduced to an incredible chef and his wonderful food. Probably the best guacamole I've ever had in my life. And that's where Kurt got stuck in the bathroom, and we had to go.
No one has a key.
Yeah.
No one had a key to get him out.
So he was in there for probably an hour, hour and a half.
No.
Maybe, okay.
Long enough, if you ask him.
We finished the trek and got set up in our campsite, which was...
Well, we didn't finish the trek. We finished the first day.
The first hike.
We got settled in.
And then had more amazing food. And
which is even more amazing after a day of hiking.
Yeah.
I have that ready for you.
And then the next morning we had to wake up even earlier. And it was kind of a trend. We started waking up and hiking in the dark. The second day, it was the toughest day. It was, pretty much that.
Llamas saltaron.
And it was a total of 11 miles that day, or 13?
I'm sure, but it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was high up.
And it's the pass we go up is called Dead Woman's Pass up. And then of course Jess and I, not knowing when enough is enough, we decided to go even taller. So we went up on this little
Lookout thingy.
Yeah. And we had said that we were going to run up it, and quickly realized that running at, however high, 15,000 feet, just
Not
was
good.
not.
It was higher. I think it was close to 16,000. Yeah. I don't know.
It was high.
And literally we ate another unbelievable meal, and then felt like we were gonna pass out. We're like, okay, time to go again. And it took a lot of encouragement to get us all going, because again, we went right back up.
And then the third day was probably my favorite day of the whole trek, because we got to see, I don't know, four sites?
Ruins, yeah.
And then the last one, which is
Like
called Mini Machu Picchu. And I thought it was so much more beautiful than Machu Picchu.
There's no one there.
There's no one there. It was just us. We got to kind of explore the whole mountain side that this little city is built on, and just unbelievable. I mean,
The whole trek was like that. I mean, you get to just, like, you're on this trail, like, there's barely anybody there with you. You get to see these unbelievable ruins that people don't get to see all the time, and they're unreal.
And so then we spent quite a bit of time at that ruin, which is also, I think, what made it special, is because we were just able to sit there and envision what the entire city would have felt like to live there. We got to go see, houses and whatnot and spend time in them. Yeah, well, I mean, they're ruins. But.
And learn just so much about the culture and just kind of like what all these places meant to so many different people.
And then for dinner, it was kind of a cool experience because we got to interact with the porters a little bit more. They made an incredible meal, and then they baked cakes at the top of a mountain over a fire stove that they all carried everything up there. No oven. It was super cool. And then
We were spoiled.
And then we got to interact with all of the porters.
So then the next day,
Was the last day. And because of the way that the porters needed to leave the mountain, we had to get to the gate to enter Machu Picchu at 4 a.m.?
That's steep, huh? That's amazing. 70 pounds.
The porters left, and then we went to the gate, which wasn't too far of a hike, but you just wait there. And
then we got in.
and then it was actually a pretty tough hike.
When you
And then
and I and Maddie, we ran ahead so we could try to save a spot for supposedly the best view of Machu Picchu.
because, well, then you know what happens next. We went through all the work to be some of the first people there, and it didn't matter because our time lapse,
But
as
we
you can
won.
see, was pretty pointless. But then we went back, and we also got to come hike with.
I haven't gone in yet. I don't want to see it till Terry does.
You're almost there.
Good job, Terry.
You guys, guys.
Thank you. Good job.
Hey, what? Feel me coming up the last few stairs. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Then you hike, and we hiked into the city, into Machu Picchu.
Yeah. Yes to both.
I think it likes you.
Jess, I would never spit on you.
So we saw it, and then we got to go see
Huayna Picchu.
which is the mountain opposite of where we were to start. And it's another viewpoint that you can climb to see down directly onto the city, which was a super cool experience. Very exhausting because it was extremely hot, and well, we had just, as you know, hiked for 4 days. That was also very grueling.
So it's definitely worth it. Definitely recommended. But just try to mentally prepare. You're about to be really tired.
And then we went down and we
Explored Machu Picchu, which is unbelievable. But there's so many people there that we really felt like the whole trek, where we got to see the ruins along the way, was such a cooler experience because you get to see them without people everywhere. Oh,
from Cusco we went to the
completely forgot about that.
the rainforest. So we went out
With the Amazon.
the Amazon. So we stayed at a really cool place. It's technically
Puerto
not.
Maldonado.
Yeah.
Maldonado.
Yeah. It's technically not the Amazon. It's a tributary of
The
to
Amazon.
to
To the Amazon.
Because remember we talked about this. A tributary is something that contributes.
But still
to-
felt very Amazonian.
And we got to see a lot of animals, monkeys. And then a whole bunch of birds.
Snakes. Viper. Butterfly.
Did we see a viper?
I remember it was like across
Oh,
the road,
yeah.
and they were like,
Bats, and yeah, so we got to hike
Super
this
beautiful,
super
super
cool outlook that we got to see over the whole forest. We got to see some of the
yeah, that was
biggest and oldest trees in at least our area of the rainforest. Yeah. We got to see some cool things in Lima. We didn't end up doing some of the parts of the trip that we wanted to, but
We were
exhausted and
quite fatigued. We crammed a lot in,
yeah,
but we had our coffee.
we had a lot of coffee. We found the best coffee there in Lima. That was really good.
We went to a place that was just around the corner from, I think we stayed at an Airbnb, and we went back the next morning because it was so good.
And
And their food was so good.
you had 2 lattes. Kurt had probably 3 or 4.
I think
five.
only 3. On the last day,
I think he had 3.
probably 3.
You think less?
No, I think it was 3.
Okay. And then yeah, we then journeyed back home. Overall, it was a great trip,
So much fun. Highly recommend Peru
and
the Inca Trail.
you will be seeing more of us and also more of Curtis and Terry. So until next time, bye guys.
I like that one. Hi, cutie. a banana.